Good morning. My name is Keith Curran, and this is a progress report on the Ag Variety Trials database that I've been working on. Today, I'm briefly going to speak about a new table and its role. It's called Growth Stage by Crop. And what we have is the design of this table is pretty simple. You've got a crop. In this case, I've entered two types for reference, canola and wheat. The number of days, this column basically correlates to the time when the seed is introduced to the soil, so the time of planting, and the growth stage, or the stage as described here, and then the actual growth stage with a description as well as a critical management column, which will assist with a description of what you should be careful of when during the development stage, certain aspects of its development are sensitive to certain types of herbicides, pesticides, water, and the necessity to make sure that water is regulated as it relates to yield, etc. And we even have an image column where I can get an image and just to visually describe the stage of growth. But most importantly, the idea behind this table, growth stage by crop, is that it's going to be a reference table which corresponds to field management of a research plot. And so if you take a look here, I haven't entered any of the critical management components for canola yet, but it shows the growth stage for canola, germination, sprouting, leaf development, etc. And then for wheat, I have entered some critical management notes in here. But as this cycle of days, as it relates to the crop, starts, and you've got a growth stage, it will correspond to some bells and whistles that I build into the software, where as you're doing your field management, you can you'll have a little pop-up like that, and it will say, okay, now is about the right time to check for weeds and apply a certain type of herbicide. When I enter the herbicide database, when I enter the chemicals table, which I have not done yet, that chemicals table will work together with this table to develop what I call validation. So as you start applying, whether it be fertilizer or herbicide to the field, all of these events are recorded by date, and the person who's planning this, it will show up and say, well, now is the best time to be doing this. And it will also be able to look to the chemicals table and say, well, at this particular growth stage, you really don't want to use this particular herbicide because it will affect the seed in a certain way. So as I'm learning about these herbicides to be a private applicator for my private applicator license for spraying, I will be developing the chemicals database table that will work together with this table for the purpose of field management. And so when a field assistant or a field tech enters in notes or does anything in a field, that information will be updated, and it will be useful for them to see visually in the software that certain things can or cannot be used. And that's the idea. I'm not quite there yet, but this is the first step.